I want to talk about on-the-job discrimination. Doesn't matter if you're working in corporate America or fast food or retail, Walmart. It doesn't matter. It's wrong. It's illegal. It's illegal on state and federal level. And I want my people to do a better job. I'm not saying you're doing a poor job, but do a better job at coming against this and knowing your rights and not just walking away. Because I know a lot of my people, the way they deal with it is just to walk away. I've had numerous conversations with people who have dealt with discrimination on the job, and they had great cases. And they would just, and I would ask them, well, what did you do about it? Nothing. I just went and found another job. You know how bothered oh my God. Let's talk more about it when I get back. And it's something else that I want to show you guys. And I hope that it better equips you on how to handle certain situations in this country, because the tools are there. I'll talk about it when I get back. I am beyond tired of hearing about how my people are discriminated throughout this country, and nobody acts like they give a damn until it's involving illegals or immigrants or both. It should be a crime. And I wish more of my people would come together and do some class action lawsuits. Do you know how many people and groups and agencies we can bring lawsuits against for blatant discrimination? Being an American politician and then being anti-American and anti-black and anti-anything that's involved in this country pertaining to American citizens, that is against the law. And they're doing it right in our face. I want to show you some clips that I've seen circulating through these social media platforms of black people showing that they have had enough. And you know how long I've been waiting for you guys to get there and stop playing this nice game? Well, just let it go. Just let it go. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in not allowing your blood pressure to go through the roof. I believe in not practicing wrath, but I also believe in standing up for yourself and speaking. I don't care who it is. And there are times that you need to stand up and do something. Yes, I believe in prayer as well. But God equipped us with the mind and the confidence and the know-how to do as well. There are times to be still, and then there are times to move. So when I saw these clips of these black folks saying, I've had enough of this should be a warning. The warning that I've been telling you guys for a few years that's coming. You keep pushing black folks against the wall, you gonna get what's coming. So check this out.
You an immigrant. I'm about to get your papers, hi. I'm about to call ICE. Sorry, I'm about to call ICE right now. I'm about to call ICE right now. I'm about to get you. Tell ICE. Tell him. Tell ICE. You think that you can call ICE right now, bitch? What's his address? Okay. 2100. Let me call ICE. Yeah, I'll be right. Call ICE. Come on, bitch. I'll be right. Call ICE over.
Yes,
Call, please.
Oh, 138.
Please, what happened here?
Wow, I'm illegal. That's so cool.
No, yeah, forget the truck's getting all black. Quick.
Y'all can call me racist or prejudiced. Quite frankly, I really don't give a damn. There's no reason why I should be walking into a shipping and receiving dock. There's like 8, 9, 10 people that don't speak English at all. They got me over here playing charades, like, can you, like, call somebody? Like, yeah, I'm here for a delivery. Like, but we got to be bilingual. But y'all ain't got to speak a lick of English. Make it make sense to me. God.
I was just looking at a video on Twitter where Twitter is like a toxic, wicked place. And if black folks can get together, quite a few, you don't even have to be a whole lot, and sue the hell out of Twitter. I really do, because Elon is a different type of racist. He from South Africa, so their racism is different than American racism. But anyway, I was just making a comment on Twitter because it was something about them speaking in Spanish. I cannot remember what someone said, and I responded to it. I said, yeah, I can't stand when I go to a place of business and they're speaking Spanish right in front of you, especially when it's concerning you. And it's not a cool situation, and then you got two employees come together, the person that you was dealing with, and then you speak to the manager, and they're speaking in Spanish, and you're like, what the F are you talking about? Do you know how effing rude that is to be talking about me in your language? Whether I know Spanish or not, it's still rude as hell, and that shows you how disrespectful they are. I done checked them quite a few times, but you get tired of being the main ones checking them, because if a lot of people was going to these businesses checking these people, it wouldn't continue to happen. Because people, at the end of the day, people rather not lose money in business than allow these people to speak Spanish in your face while you're taking care of business. Now, I know back in the 90s, there used to be a law where in California where they couldn't speak their language on the floor while taking care of business. They had to go in private, wait till they was on lunch, whatever. And I know it was a racist law, but hell, these people, this country put us through hell, and now they're pampering you like you are imbeciles, like you're toddlers, like you're handicapped and can't defend yourself. It's gonna work against you like it's working now. But anyway, I looked it up to see if the law was still on the books. They're saying in California, blanket English only rules are generally illegal under the Fair Employment and Housing Act because they can constitute national origin discrimination. But see, they don't have a problem discriminating against us, right? So basically they're saying that the business owners can enforce having them speak English, especially if it's like for safety reasons, to help operations run smoothly, and doing safety training discussions when it's necessary. But just to say, no, you can't speak Spanish or whatever your language is, period, that would be against the law, of course, right? But then you have some people that's listening to this video right now saying, well, what's the problem? They don't know English. The problem is you're working at a place of business in an English-speaking country, and you do not know how to communicate with the person who's coming in and spending money in that establishment that you work at.
Monkey. Leave me the fuck alone. Asshole. You're not supposed to be here. Bitch, you probably ain't got no motherfucking green card. Bitch.
This to all my peoples out there. Start helping ICE out and start snitching on them. Call the hotline and bloop, 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 bloop. Hey, yo, I saw these over there. Yeah.
What's funny is you got black people proudly coming on these nets saying, call ICE. Call the ICE police, because they are law enforcement at the end of the day. And I know we kind of sort of pride ourselves on not wanting to deal with the police, and for good reasons, but I never had an issue with dealing with the police. I don't like the abuse, I don't like the unfairness, I don't like the racism, but at the end of the day, I don't have an issue with the police. You know what I'm saying? I have been in situations where they have been great help, you know what I'm saying? And I will tell my own story at the end of this video about me telling somebody I was gonna call ICE and had the number in my phone. Don't play with me. Black Americans, we have to start playing better defense. Stop being indifferent. These people are not playing with you. They're not playing with your loved ones. They are after your loved ones' peace of mind, your loved ones' safety, your loved ones' future. So you're gonna have to start playing defensive. Damn all that extra. Remember when you used to say foolishly, they're only coming over here getting the jobs that we don't want. Now they're becoming your managers, your supervisors, and they're firing you. We should have took a stand a long time ago against this. Let's continue.
Yeah, I said it. I called ICE. Jamaican lady at the restaurant gave me burnt up food, cursed me out, disrespected me, her and her husband, when I asked for another dinner because the food was rotten. Cursed me out like a dog. Her husband cursed me out, threw a cup at me. So I called ICE. 3 weeks later, ICE came to their restaurant and deported all of them. Came and raided their whole restaurant.
Well. All I have to say is most of you guys came over here being nasty towards us. And then what's so crazy is you guys want to get on line now and act brand new. Like, where's this hostility, this xenophobia? I'm also add a clip in here and show you what these South Africans are doing to immigrants that come to their countries. But anyway, you guys came with the hostility, trying to treat us like people treat you in your country so disrespectfully. I have nothing against what this sister did. Applause. That's exactly how I feel. Let's continue.
They're paying $1,000 to deport illegal immigrants.
They think are here illegally. First Alert 4 investigator David Amilati following this story. David. Cameron, this bill was just submitted, and it's sponsored by Sunset Hills-based David Gregory, the House rep elected to the state Senate just last month. Gregory wants to pay Missourians $1,000 if they turn someone in.
Y'all are Democrats, okay? And most importantly, are black Democrats and leftists. Are y'all okay? Are y'all all right? Liberals, y'all okay? Child, now they mad, y'all, because they see in the videos that black people is working for ICE. And y'all knew that we lived in a country that had immigration laws. Y'all knew we lived in a country that had a border that people couldn't just cross. Y'all knew that if people broke whatever kind of rules they weren't supposed to break or whatever, that they could get deported from this country. 1 minute is black people are lazy and going to jail. The next minute y'all mad because black people is working for ICE. And let me tell y'all, if y'all seen how much ICE is paying and they offering $50,000 sign-on bonuses, and I do believe they're like the 23rd highest salary, okay, for all government positions. And then they keep throwing more money on top of that shit, and people that have been advancing through the ranks and obtaining like higher positions, getting promotions and shit on a really quick time frame, man. And they got full benefits, y'all. A full benefits package, baby. Y'all better go get that money.
That will be it for now, with the clips of black people showing that they don't give a damn about what this world and country think about them. When it comes to us, we are practicing defense, as I said, and self-preservation, just like these other groups have been practicing the same way, the same thing, as well as races. So also, let me show you this clip right quick, right fast, and show you the effery that's going on in South Africa. So next time an immigrant, especially from Africa, come in your face calling you xenophobic, show them that clip. And we've never been xenophobic. We are the ones who embraced y'all asses until y'all effed it up. Just like people want to go around saying black people are homophobic. If y'all don't knock it the F off, stop. Just because we don't go around doing extras like, oh, we're going to celebrate you guys' lifestyle and your choices. So let's go on. Let me show you this clip. Also, I'm going to have to add a little bit of censor in here because, you know, certain platforms will let you show it, but you know how YouTube is. But you'll get the gist.
How does it phone? Chaya, get it. What's Saponi. Saponi. Chaya, what's Let me
That is absolutely crazy. When I saw that, I was like, this is so damn ridiculous. And they have the nerves to call us xenophobic. You guys are the masters of xenophobia. Each country in the continent of Africa have an issue with you guys going to each one another's country. That is crazy. That's what I keep saying. These groups have been projecting onto us. We're not like that. And these races are the same ass way. They were beating the dog shit out of that man. The video just says South Africans are xenophobic, but it didn't say what country each of the people were from. But I thought that was absolutely insane. Yeah, I could just laugh at these people. And I know you guys have seen videos of cartel members, what they do to regular Mexican citizens in their country. It's gruesome as hell. Have you guys ever seen a video or heard of a video called Faces of Death? It used to be very popular in the 80s on VHS tape. We used to go and get that nasty. It used to have volumes, right? We used to go get some of those videos when we had a VCR and watch them gruesome ass, scary, creepy ass videos. They were gruesome as hell. But anyway, that's how they are in Mexico. What the cartel do to one another and what they do to Mexican citizens, they are gruesome. You know they be practicing that Santeria too. But anyway, yeah, these people are hypocrites. So let's get on with the video. One of the main purposes of this video was to talk about this discrimination and racism that goes on within the workplace in this country, and people ain't saying nothing. But we gonna start speaking more about it and being proactive and defensive. Black Americans, be on defense. If you was playing basketball, you just gonna let people run through you and go to the hoop? No, you gonna try to break their ankles to keep them from going to the hoop. So you do the same way when these people try to come for you at your job or your career. Let's get on with it. Discrimination at work is unfair treatment of employees or job applicants based on protected characters like race, gender, age, rather than on performance. It is illegal under federal laws enforced by EEOC. It includes discriminatory hiring, firing, paying, promotion, as well as harassment and retaliation. Black Americans, some of you guys should be ashamed for allowing these first-gen immigrants, illegals, to treat you guys like you're the immigrants in your country. Like you done just ran and snuck across the border into their country, and that's how they're treating you. Y'all better be on defense and do what I know you know how to do. Here are 10 signs you need an attorney. What is employee discrimination? Under the Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the protected classes under federal law include, I just mentioned, race, sex, religion, national origin, ethnicity, age, and disability. If you've been discriminated against at work and you're part of any protected class, the conduct might be illegal under federal law. Types of workplace discrimination with examples. Hiring discrimination. A common example is employers refusing to hire older workers, not because they're less qualified, but because of stereotypes that they are not as skilled when it comes to technology aspect of work. Pay discrimination. This happens when employees are not getting the pay they deserve. They are being compensated unequally, not because of experience or role difference, but because one employee is being discriminated against because of gender. For instance, one example would be employers giving higher wages to men than women, and we all know what that is. Promotion discrimination. Common example would be your employer making promotion decisions based on accommodation costs. By federal work laws, employers are required to provide reasonable accommodations so a worker with disability can perform their role and have an experience similar to co-workers without disability. Harassment or hostile work environment. A hostile work environment is created when a severe or recurrent harassment of any type of discrimination happens to a victim under a protective class. Bullying in the workplace. 5, retaliation happens when the employer reacts negatively towards someone at work who has reported a discrimination complaint or participated in an investigation regarding similar claims. Failure to accommodate. This happens when your employer does not make reasonable adjustments for people with disability. Culture discrimination. Culture differences in business does not grant a supervisor or coworker any right to make fun or lessen your opportunities of growth and career advancement. Remember, nation of origin or ethnicity is a protected class. Okay, 10 signs you may need an attorney for work discrimination. You are treated differently than other employees in similar roles. You may be experiencing unequal discipline, expectations, or workload compared to other coworkers with similar roles. In situations like this, it's important for you to figure out the reason for this workplace discrimination and figure out the specific protected class it can potentially fall under. 2, you notice pay disparities without clear justification. While salary might not be the easiest information you'll get access to, there are situations when you find these disparities at work. Your coworker earns more for the same work. Maybe it's because you're being discriminated against. It's time to find a lawyer to figure it out. You are repeatedly passed over for promotion opportunities. If you have more seniority, experience, and better performance evaluations, it can be hard to believe that less qualified individuals are being promoted instead of you on repeated occasions. You experience harassment or offensive remarks. The most common example that also lead to a hostile work environment are abusive or negative comments about race, gender, religion, or culture. 6, you face retaliation after speaking up. As mentioned, there are employers who tend to lash back at their employees for doing the right thing and stepping up against employee discrimination. 7, related to retaliation. This situation can sometimes come especially after a protected activity where you file a legal complaint against your employer for discrimination or you've testified for a coworker who's experienced it at work. 8, in instances like this, you might have a case for wrongful termination. With wrongful termination claims, your employer will prepare cases to prove that you weren't let go for illegal reasons. It's important you have the proper documentation that are significant enough for a wrongful termination claim, and that is what I'm going to expand a lot more on after I finish this last example of why you need or may need to hire an attorney. 9, if your disabled or religious needs are ignored, you might be experiencing workplace discrimination. Employers who don't allow dress code exceptions for workers to practice their faith is an example of this situation. 10, company policies seem neutral but impact certain groups unfairly. Now, those are 10 reasons, as I said in the beginning, of why they say you may need an attorney. Now, this is what I want to drill into you guys in a loving, kind way. Before you go seek out an attorney, let me tell you something. An attorney can only work with what you provide. If you go to them for whatever reason, this attorney is going to have to prove your case to the court. And if you don't have evidence, if you don't have things documented, if you don't have anything, how can an attorney prove your case? You're not even going to convince them, let alone the court. The most important key thing to do out of all of this is, in any situation where you know or believe you are being discriminated against or treated biasly, is to document everything. I have been involved in multiple cases, one big case a few years ago, and I can't tell you how many times we stressed to the people that was on the case that they needed to create a paper trail. So that meant don't pick up the phone having conversations. This is what they would always do. Pick up the phone having a conversation. You can't document a phone call. If you need to discuss anything, text, email, even a certified letter through U.S. mail, always create a paper trail so you can say, here, bam. A phone call they can dismiss. Even if you go get your phone records and be like, yeah, see, I called them on this day. There's no way to tell us the context of that phone call. They could lie and say, oh, they called me and was talking about the weather, and you call them about a complaint. So it's best to communicate where you can have effective documentation. No more voicemails. Voicemails can be deleted. No communicating with them in any way that cannot be verified or documented. Oh my God, I was talking to adults like they was, in grammar school. That was crazy. If your discussion cannot be documented by you, it never happened. They can pretend like it never happened. They could write up colorful things about you, claiming that you did or said things that you may not or may have not said, and they can twist up the context to make you look like the monster. So do not, I emphasize, if you got an issue and you think the supervisor might be involved, or even if you're not sure, don't go speaking to them privately. Do not do it. Or if you do want to speak to them, other than sending an email, letter, text, what have you, have somebody by your side that you trust that will be a witness and will step up if needed to say, yeah, I was there, I heard him or her say this, that, and the other. If you don't have nobody around that you don't trust, you need to send it through, whether it's company mail, whether it's your personal mail, if you had an option of doing that, text message, write a letter, mail it certified so you'll have proof that you actually mailed it. Of course, keep a copy for yourself. But going to go talk to these people in private and phone calls, all you're doing is giving them the fuel to light your ass on fire. Now, you can't, like I said, you can't document a phone call. There's no way to prove what was said on the phone call and what the responses were unless you recorded the phone call. And in some states, you have to get permission to record the person who you're talking to. And if they say no, then what you gonna do? Okay. Ensure that you follow the so-called protocols, because you know they sticklers with protocols, right? Even though they don't follow them. If you don't follow the protocols, they will use it against you. Give them the opportunity to practice due process, right? The ability to ask questions, investigate your concerns. So if the protocol is to report pertinent issues to superiors first, and then if it continues, approach after you talk to your superior, then go to their superior or manager. And then that may be HR, and might be somebody else above that superior before HR. If it continues after you talk to the manager, go to HR. Remember, document everything. If nothing changes after HR, then you need to be more aggressive and file a complaint with EEOC or any other outside agency. Possibly. And then that's when you seek legal representation. Once you go to HR, you want to have your safety net in place, because they may try to retaliate with what I just read. Me, what I would do, I would go to HR and file a complaint with EEOC simultaneously. So if they try to retaliate, you will have already documented your concerns about possibly being discriminated against with an outside government agency. I know some could wonder, well, why would you file a complaint with EEOC or any other outside agency before you know how HR and the higher ups are going to handle your situation? The easy answer is, it's called self-preservation. It's called being on defense. Defense, DEFENSE. It's not about paranoia. This is your livelihood. This is how you keep a roof over your head. This is how you feed yourself. And if you have a family, this is how you keep food in your family's stomach. So you won't have to play defense. You have a right to have an outside agency step in, as you don't know how this will be handled. As you already witnessed how the people prior to you going to HR handled the situation. They didn't handle the situation. So you don't even know how HR is going to handle it, if they're going to handle it appropriately. And especially if HR, the people in HR, may be friends with the people that you spoke to prior to HR. You know how that goes. Nepotism. So when you do reach out to an outside agency and make your concerns and document your concerns with them, and HR finds out, or the higher ups find out, if they really were going to do right by you, they wouldn't be upset. They wouldn't be upset when they find out that you took your complaints outside of their establishment, because they were going to do right by you anyway. They would understand. They would have understanding for you. But if they weren't going to do right by you, of course they're going to be pissed off, because they wanted to retaliate against you. And they know that retaliating against you now that you have, after you have documented your complaint with an outside agency, that is going to add to your case if you sue them. I know what I'm talking about, folks, because I experienced it. I was done wrong on jobs, of course. And where I used to live, I had to sue this bastard. So I'm only telling you, and we won. So I'm only telling you what I experienced. It's the same principles. Document everything. I still have my paperwork, documents, text messages, emails, and letters from when I did that case. As an example, why would I throw that away? You're going to have to play hardcore defense, because some of these companies, there is nepotism involved, especially if it's a lot of Hispanics. You already know how that goes. They're not playing fair with you. And then that's crazy if some of them working there are illegal. First gen immigrations, you going to let them play you like that? You're going to let them play you like you're in their country and you're the immigrant? They're in your country, and I don't care who the hell supporting them. I don't care if Democrats are supporting these immigrants and illegals, if racists are giving them the game on how to come at us. We have knowledge, we have tools available to us, and we have tenaciousness. So stop sitting on the curb with your head in your hands acting like you don't know what to do. Stop leaving these jobs and allowing these people to continue their harassment with other people. And then you're like, well, why should I care what they do with other people? You should. Because there's one day you're going to want somebody to care for you. And then those are seeds that you planted. So whenever you need help, somebody's going to be there for you. And then you want this to stop. You want these people to stop walking around here like they had an upper hand. I remember I was looking at I saw the thumbnail of a video the other day. The thumbnail said that some Hispanics are for Ashley Gonzalez, and they're asking I believe if I remember correctly, they're asking other Hispanic countries to stand against FBA. I actually laughed out loud when I saw that. I was like, what? See how big they see us? You not only had the Democrats that's riding with y'all, you have racists that are riding with you. Now you got to go get other countries. That's how big you see us. You see how big they see us, Black America? And nowhere in the world we should continue to allow this to go on in these businesses in our country. Oh, you want to discriminate against me? I'm going to make sure you go bankrupt. I'm going to make sure your ass get fired and crawl back to your country being humiliated. That is ludicrous on so many levels. One, here's the thing. We have consistently for hundreds of years fought against the biggest bullies in the world. Most countries around the world rely on this country for something. For us to consistently stand against these racists and speak against them, unlike you guys, what does that tell you how we feel? What does that tell you how we see you and your country? Two, instead of putting all that energy together, getting your countries to rally against us, how about you take that same energy and to ask your country to get it together so you can move your ass back to your country, and that way you would not have to ever deal with Black Americans again in life. Doesn't that make more sense? Goofy. I hope this video was educational to you and equipped you with, I'm sure a lot of these things you already know. And they're honest, and you never know. There are some people who don't know how to fight when they're being discriminated against or harassed on the job. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, or is helpful to someone you may know. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I'm about to shut up shop. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.